This is Jamie with Bar-I. In this video, we're going to show you how you can review the recipes which are being used to calculate your accountability numbers so that you can confirm that the recipes are correct in most cases and also suggest any updates or adjustments that are required in order to ensure that your results are as accurate as possible. So using your main login, go ahead from the main dashboard or from Setup Zones, click on Reports. We'll select, by default, you'll be on the summary reports. You'll need at the top right here to select action reports and then click on recipes. And then obviously, if you want to just review the recipes line by line, you can do so by using the pagination or the next arrow here. But I want to also suggest how you can use a couple of other techniques to be more efficient in how you review these. So the first one is simply to search for items by name. So take an example here, button number 4, where we've got VBC Blonde is the button description within the point of sale, and then the ingredient name which is mapped to in the Bar-I software is Keg Vale Brew Hot Mess Blonde. And so you can search using this search bar either for a character string which is in the button description, as the case here with VBC, or a string which is in the vessel name, and both of those actions will have you look up just the items which contain that character string, and in that way you'll be able to drill down and check those particular items. That's useful if you suspect an error on a particular product. Second technique is to use the word unknown. In Bar-I software, we have a number of unknown dummy products, unknown bottle, unknown draft, unknown liquor, and unknown wine. We use those to account for recipes if we're not sure what the recipe is calling for, or if there's not an obvious item which is being counted, which matches up to the name or button description being used. And so this is useful because normally these are occasions when we either need to communicate to Bar-I what's being used, or in many cases we need to make updates to our point of sale by probably erasing a button which is being used but not for the correct product, and then go ahead and create a correct button where the button description of the point of sale system will then match the name of the product which is actually being poured in that case. And then the third suggestion is to use the sorting of the real liquor cost column. So the real liquor cost column is showing what liquor cost you're hitting in real life, which is the actual cost of the product divided by how much dollars are being taken on average on that button press. And then the reason we say real is it's not the nominal rate, which includes tax, but it's the net effect of tax. So if you click on it first time, you'll see the items which have the lowest liquor cost. And you can see here, items which have a 0% liquor cost is usually because they're being attached to an item such as unknown, or because you're using what's called a 2 recipe or a 2 press recipe, whereby in order to ring up a drink, you press what's called the mother button first, and then you're modifying it in some way and indicating which product is being poured with a child or a secondary modifier button. The reason we don't love that is it then means that all of the dollars being taken are often not being attached to a single button, and therefore it's difficult for the software to calculate what the liquor cost is by dividing the cost of the ingredient by the dollars per push, because the dollars is normally split between 2 buttons. So we don't recommend, where possible, using 2 buttons, a mother and child button to ring up one drink where possible, because it creates additional complexity, confusion, and opportunity for error, as well as losing some of the reporting benefits of being able to see liquor cost on a button level. If you sort the real liquor cost by clicking on this arrow a second time, you'll see the items that have the highest liquor cost, and that can be useful to determine, in the most simple case, occasions when you need to up the price, or perhaps where comping or giveaways are reducing the average dollars that are being taken. So in this case, for instance, you'll normally notice that the highest liquor cost in these cases will be some type of error. Here it looks like we have a pricing error whereby we're collecting $6 for each time Lunetta 187 is pressed, and we are wrongly at the moment have the cost set up for Lunetta where it's saying that quantity of one bottle is costing $60. So that'd be an opportunity where Bar-I needs to update the pricing there. In the case of Victoria here, you can see that the cost is accurate, but the dollars per push is $2.43. So that's probably a case where we need to have a price update to increase the cost, or we're seeing comping. This is a real live cost based on what comes from your point of sale. So it does include the effect of comping and normally backs out tax. But again, the places where you've got particularly high liquor cost, it's worth checking to make sure that on the first place the pricing is correct for those items, and then also investigate why, if the cause is a lower dollars per button push, and check out why that's low. Before we just end this, let's go ahead and show you where you can look up the cost of these items. So go ahead and click back, expand the product menu on the main menu here, and the arrow will turn red. Click on vessels, and then you can see the prices for any item in this column for the units or amounts here. And again, you can use searching to search for an item by name, and also you can filter out by different categories, subcategories, and vessel sizes. Hope that's useful, but that's how to investigate your recipes, see what needs to be updated, check them for correctness, and then always submit those suggestions or discuss them with your borrower account manager. Thank you as always for watching.